Okay, ready to have your minds blown. Today we're taking a deep dive into the world of text-to-video AI.
That's right, and let me tell you, this isn't just some futuristic fantasy anymore, it's here.
It's happening now. I mean, picture that you have an idea for a video, right? But not just any video, something completely wild, like a swarm of robot butterflies pollinating a field of neon flowers in zero gravity.
See, now you're getting it. Text-to-video AI lets you take these wild, imaginative ideas and turn them into actual videos.
No way, seriously, it can do that.
And we're not just talking about simple animations here. This technology is advancing so rapidly that we're seeing a level of realism, of creativity, that was practically unimaginable just a few years ago.
Okay, I'm officially intrigued, but let's rewind for a sec. For those of us who aren't, AI wizards, what exactly is text-to-video AI? How does it even work?
Well, imagine you're teaching a computer to see and understand the world like we do.
Okay, that's a pretty wild concept in itself.
Right. But that's essentially what we're doing here. We're training these incredibly complex algorithms on massive amounts of data, images, videos, text, you name it. And in doing so, we're teaching them to connect words with visuals.
So, like, if I feed this AI a sentence like, a giant squid playing chess with Albert Einstein on the moon, it can actually create a video of that.
You got it. And the amazing thing is that it's not just about recognizing objects and scenes. This technology is learning to understand movement, lighting, even the subtle nuances that make a video feel real and engaging.
So it's not just slapping together pre-made clips, it's actually creating something new, something original.
Precisely. And this is where things get really interesting, because different platforms are being built on different approaches, kind of like different schools of thought in the AI world. Some prioritize realism, others focus on speed, and there are even platforms designed for creating specific aesthetics, like anime or hyperrealistic CGI.
It's like this whole new world of creative possibilities is opening up right before our eyes. But I gotta ask, with all this talk of AI imagining and creating, where does that leave human creativity?
That's the million-dollar question, right? But instead of thinking of AI as a replacement for human creativity, I see it more as a powerful new tool in our creative arsenal.
Kind of like the invention of the camera or the printing press.
Exactly. These innovations didn't destroy creativity, they revolutionized it, opening up entirely new avenues for expression.
And it's not like creativity is a finite resource. It's like the more we explore, the more there is to discover.
Exactly. And this is what makes text-to-video AI so exciting. It's not just about making videos, it's about changing how we tell stories, how we share ideas, how we communicate with the world. And as with any powerful tool, it's up to us to use it responsibly and ethically to explore its potential for good while being mindful of its limitations.
So with all that said, where do we even begin? Where can our listeners actually get their hands on this tech? And what are the different platforms out there?
Well, that is a great question and the perfect place to start our deep dive into the leading text-to-video platforms. So let's get to it.
So are you ready to unlock the secrets of the text-to-video AI universe?
Let's do it. But like any good quest, we need the right tools for the job. And in the world of text-to-video AI, the platform you choose can make all the difference.
Absolutely. So let's dive into the platforms themselves. Let's say I'm working on a project where realism is non-negotiable. We're talking those hyper-realistic environments you'd see in, like, a big-budget sci-fi film.
Okay, so you're going for that I can't believe this isn't real life kind of vibe.
Exactly.
What's my best bet?
In that case, you'll want to check out Kling AI. They're really pushing the boundaries of what's possible in terms of visual fidelity. We're talking photorealistic textures, dynamic lighting, the whole 9 yards.
Yeah.
Imagine rendering a breathtaking vista of an alien planet with such detail you could practically feel the wind on your face. That's the kind of experience Kling AI is aiming for.
Okay, now we're talking. But with anything this advanced, there's got to be a trade-off, right?
Sure, every tool has its quirks. With Kling AI, one thing to keep in mind is that it's still relatively new on the scene.
So, cutting edge, but maybe a little rough around the edges?
In a way, yeah. The technology is incredibly powerful, don't get me wrong, but the platform itself might not be as user-friendly or intuitive as some of the more established options.
Gotcha. So maybe not the best option for complete beginners.
Right. And because it's so focused on realism and generating longer videos, Kling AI can be a bit of a resource hog. You'll need a pretty powerful computer to run it smoothly.
Makes sense. High-fidelity visuals usually mean hefty processing power. What about the cost? Is it accessible, or are we talking like a Hollywood studio budget?
That's still a bit as a mystery, actually. Kling AI hasn't publicly released their pricing yet.
Okay, so potentially a bit of a gamble there. But if those visuals are as good as you say, it might be worth it for some creators. Now, let's shift gears a bit. What if speed is my top priority? I need to pump out videos faster than a caffeine-fueled robot.
Well then, my friend, you need Minimax in your life. This platform is known for its lightning-fast rendering times.
We talking like minutes, hours? Give me the details.
Think seconds, my friend. We're talking about generating a 10-second animation in the time it takes to make a cup of coffee that's Minimax.
Wow, okay. I am impressed, but speed isn't everything, right? What kind of videos is Minimax actually good at making?
Minimax really excels at creating stylized videos. Think like those cool explainer videos with animated characters or those eye-catching social media ads.
Okay, I can see the potential there, but you said stylized. Does that mean it's not so great for creating realistic content?
You got it. While Minimax is fantastic for certain types of animation, it's not as strong when it comes to photorealism.
So horses for courses, as they say.
Huh.
What about the price tag on this one?
Here's the best part. Minimax is currently free to use.
Free. Okay, now you've got my attention, but there's got to be a catch, right? Free cheese, mousetrap, all that.
Well, because it's free and gaining popularity like wildfire, we might see some slowdowns as more users jump on board. Servers can only handle so much traffic.
Right. Those servers are working overtime. Okay, that's totally understandable. Anything else to consider?
Just something to keep in mind, it's possible that they might shift to a paid model in the future to handle the increased demand.
That's a really good point. Nothing stays free forever, especially in the tech world. Okay, so we've got Kling AI for those jaw-dropping, hyper-realistic creations and Minimax for speed demons and animation lovers. But what about those of us who are drawn to a more artistic, maybe even slightly surreal aesthetic? What would you recommend for that?
If you're looking to tap into your inner Salvador Dali, then Luma AI might be right up your alley.
Ooh, now that's a name I haven't heard before. Tell me more.
This platform is all about making artistry accessible. It's like having a digital paintbrush that understands your creative vision.
Okay, I love that idea, democratizing creativity, making it so anyone can express themselves visually, even without years of technical expertise. What makes Luma AI so user-friendly?
Well, for starters, it has this really intuitive interface that lets you easily experiment with different visual styles without needing a degree in animation. It's like having a virtual art studio at your fingertips.
Sounds like my kind of creative playground. But even with something this cool, there have to be some limitations, right? What's the trade-off?
You're right, every rose has its thorn. With Luma AI, the main limitation is the video length. Right now, you can only create videos that are about 5 seconds long.
5 seconds. Wow, talk about short and sweet. So I'm guessing feature films are off the table for now?
Maybe not feature films just yet, but 5 seconds is plenty of time to create eye-catching content for social media, experiment with different visual styles, or even make some cool GIFs.
Okay, so maybe Luma AI is perfect for those bite-sized moments of creativity. 5 seconds, while short, could actually lead to some really interesting creative workarounds. Now, I feel like we'd be remiss if we didn't talk about the elephant in the room, Runway Gen-3.
Ah, yes, Runway Gen-3. This platform is like the gold standard in the creative professional world, and for good reason. When only the absolute best, most customizable, most jaw-dropping visual quality will do, Runway Gen-3 is the go-to.
Okay, so for those of us who aren't professional video editors or visual effects artists, what is it about Runway Gen-3 that sets it apart? Why is it the darling of the pros?
It all comes down to control. Runway Gen-3 gives you an unparalleled levels of control over every single aspect of your video.
So it's like having a Hollywood-level special effects studio at your fingertips?
Precisely. You can fine-tune every little detail, from the lighting and textures to the camera angles and movements. If you can dream it, you can probably create it with Runway Gen-3.
That sounds amazing. But with great power comes, what is it they say?
Great responsibility.
Well, yes, of course. But I was also thinking great system requirements.
Ah, yes, good point. You see, all that customization and power comes at a cost. Literally.
Let me guess. We're talking about a platform that needs a seriously beefy computer to run smoothly.
You got it. Runway Gen-3 is a demanding beast. You'll need a top-of-the-line computer with a powerful graphics card and plenty of RAM to handle all the heavy lifting.
So not exactly the kind of platform you can run on your grandma's old laptop, then.
Probably not unless your grandma happens to have a tricked-out gaming rig tucked away in her sewing room.
Okay, that's hilarious. But on a serious note, this has been incredibly insightful. Before we wrap up our platform tour, are there any other hidden gems, any up-and-coming platforms or features that you think deserve a quick shout out.
That's the exciting part about this field. It's constantly evolving. By the time this episode airs, there might be a whole new crop of platforms and features available.
Oh, it's crazy how fast it's all happening. I know, it's like trying to catch lightning in a bottle. This whole field is moving so
And
fast.
just as exciting, it's like we're witnessing the birth of a new creative universe, and we get to be right there on the front lines.
Exactly. But that's what makes this deep dive so valuable. It's not just about what's hot and new right this second, but about giving our listeners a solid foundation to navigate this ever-evolving landscape.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And maybe even more importantly, we've given them the knowledge to ask the right questions, to be discerning as new platforms and tools emerge. Because this isn't a one-size-fits-all kind of field, not by a long shot.
That's such a crucial point.
Mm.
So, as we start to wrap things up here, I'm curious, what would you say is the real game changer? What has you most excited about the future of text-to-video AI?
For me, it keeps coming back to the democratization of storytelling. This technology has the potential to empower anyone, regardless of their technical skills or background, to bring their ideas to life visually.
It's like we're handing people a magic wand and saying, go ahead, create.
Exactly. Imagine students being able to instantly generate videos explaining complex scientific concepts, or entrepreneurs launching their businesses with professional quality marketing videos without breaking the bank. The possibilities are endless.
It's incredibly exciting and a little bit daunting, too. With all this creative potential swirling around, we also have to acknowledge the ethical implications.
Of course, as with any powerful tool, it comes down to how we choose to wield it.
Exactly. It's up to all of us to use this technology responsibly, thoughtfully, and ethically as we step into this new era of creative expression. So, as we wrap up our deep dive, we want to hear from you, our amazing listeners.
That's right. What are you most excited to create with text-to-video AI?
What creative sparks are flying in your imagination? Head over to our social media pages and let's keep this conversation going.
Because this isn't just about the technology. It's about the stories we choose to tell, the knowledge we choose to share, and the future we choose to create together. And one thing's for sure, this is only just the beginning.
Couldn't have said it better myself. Until next time, keep those creative sparks flying, everyone.